Get ready for the wildest, sexiest, craziest, most intellectually stimulating movie of the year.
I promise to do everything within my power, using all my abilities, talents, and assets to win every man on campus. So help me, hot!
When the water reaches that boiling point.
When you've got the hots, you've got everything. And everybody is out to get the hots.
Shot from rain! Shot from rain!
H.O.T.S stands for hold on to S.
Take one.
Really?
Oh, pest control, miss. I'm looking for bugs.
I'm in here. Far out! Split football! And the hot dogs put it out! Take it off! Take it off! Take it off! Take it off!
Ronnie the robot. Does he do wonders?
I do not do windows. Oh, he must touch it with 2 hands!
Lean to the right!
I think I'm going to be sick!
Then lean to the left!
H.O.T.S. We'll have to disperse. I told you they'd raid this joint.
It's real cool. It's real crazy. Hots. It'll make your temperature rise.
Everyone knows what HOT stands for, and it's disgusting. H-O-T-S! Hot! 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 Hot!
Hey YouTubers, Hankster here, and welcome to another somewhat spring break themed movie review. And today's movie review is none other than H.O.T.S. That's H-O-T-S with dots, periods at the end of each letter. Now I say that I kind of grouped this into a spring break type movie because it does take place in a college campus. The girls do run around in bikinis, and it's the crazy hijinks movies you would normally see in a spring break movie, even though it does not take place on a beach or during spring break. Now, also, this movie does take place in the 1970s. This is back in 1979 when this original movie was released. And it featured Playboy playmates like Sandy Johnson, Pamela Jean Bryant, and Susan Keeger. Also featured former Miss USA Lindsay Bloom, 80s porn star Kimberly Carson, otherwise known as Kimberly Cameron, Lisa London, former sitcom babes Casey Winkler and Angela Ames. You might recognize Angela Ames from her appearance in the original Bachelor Party starring Tom Hanks. And, of course, one notable male actor, that is, of course, Dan Bonaducci, formerly of the Partridge Family. We'll be getting to his character shortly. Now, this movie is basically what I would call a sexy female version of Revenge of the Nerds. Basically, the plot is that the lead girl in this movie, named Honey, has been rejected from the most prestigious sorority on campus. By the way, the school is known as FU. I don't remember the actual name, but its abbreviation is FU. And the Pies have rejected her, and of course, do make the leader of the Pie Girls do make fun of her in the beginning of the movie. Well, instead of crying about it, her friends, of course, convince Honey to form their own group, not exactly a sorority, but a girls' group on campus, that their primary mission is to steal all the boys from the Pie Girls. And, of course, the abbreviation is H.O.T.S, and it's an interesting way the actual meaning of those letters mean. It's not like hold on to those suckers or on to the sex or anything like that, or even helping out the SEALs. Now, the leadership lineup of H.O.T.S includes Honey, who of course is the lead girl. She's sort of this typical leader girl, I guess, get things done, comes up with the plans and everything. Then you have O'Hara, who's the bustiest of the original foursome. You got country girl Terry. And then you got anti-conformist, because she's pretty much she kind of turns her nose down on conformity, Sam. Now, of course, there's other hot girls in the group as well. These start off as entries, or I forgot what they have their own group of entry girls known as the Warms, that later become hot girls themselves, including, of course, even more busty girl named Boom Boom. And even they bring in even less attractive girls, like some fat chick who looks like my ex-girlfriend from Florida. I mean, she even gets a boyfriend. She dates the nerd in the movie. And pretty much the plot is the one group trying to outdo the other group with tricks and practical jokes and everything. So that they can still stay on the top of the totem pole when it comes to sororities or girl groups. Being a H.O.T.S is not considered a sorority, but they still have to conform. They have to perform as one, according to the dean, who basically appears to be this stuck-up kind of prissy man. Of course, he has his own dirty secrets, which we will later see in the movie. Now, of course, there's minor plots in the movie that kind of merge into everything during the movie. There's, of course, a pair of old gangsters who escaped from prison and are trying to find the secret stash of money that they and their late compadre hid in an old house. Now, unwittingly, they find out that the house that they are, that the money is in, is none other than the same house that the H.O.T.S girls renovated and now live in. And it's up to them to try to sneak in and try to find the money. They do go from just sneaking into a party into selling cleaning robots, and finally trying to get in there as bug exterminators. So while that's going on, of course, two of the lead guys in the movie, they're dating the H.O.T.S girls, of course, they kidnap the rival school's mascot, which is, of course, a giant grizzly bear. And it seems like isn't that the thing for the 1970s, is like things with grizzly bears and orangutans. But thankfully there's no orangutans in this movie, but Gentle Ben and Grizzly Adams and all that kind of stuff, kind of thing was popular back then, so they had to put a grizzly bear in this movie. And basically, he escaped from their van and wind up at the H.O.T.S house, and it basically causes a mess there too. Of course, we also have a performing seal, which becomes the H.O.T.S girls' mascot, and all. Now, of course, it would be a 70s-based movie would it would not involve disco dancing, which does have a little bit of a disco element in the movie. But there's interesting twists to this movie that I want to note to you. As of course, obviously, there's now, of course, most college movies would feature panty raids. Guys would go into girls' dormitories and steal their panties. Well, this time around, the girls turn on its ear and steal the guys' jocks, as they have a jock strap raid party with the guys to keep them away from the pie girls. Of course, that turned out to be a big success. And, of course, the first ever, everything, of course, culminates into the first ever strip football game between the Pie guys and the H.O.T.S girls, and the winner, of course, the winners are the ones that still mostly have their clothes on, still have some of their clothes on, and also basically just all culminates there, but it just all winds up at this football game, and basically bragging rights is the prize, I guess. Who's the best team in the movie? Now, I do have to note that Danny Bonaduce is in this movie, and most people might not know who he is. He was sort of a, child star in the late 60s, early 70s. He, of course, starred in the hit television series Partridge Family, which was a family of performers with their mother, and they would go tour around and, all that kind of stuff. Well, by this time, when this movie came out, Danny Bonaduce had come of age. He became an adult. And what do normally child stars do is when they grow up, they start starring in more risky, plotted movies, such as this. There's of course, obnoxious amount of nudity, sex, softcore sex scenes, mild drug use when it comes to moonshine and all. And there's some mentions of marijuana too. So basically, this was Danny Bonaduce trying to get into more serious films, I guess, or try to break away from the image of being a Partridge Family star. So obviously, now of course, his character is sort of this wannabe swinger dude who wants to pick up all the girls and be the big stud on campus, but usually not things turning out right for his point of view. He even though he is talented, he, of course, brings in his, obviously brings in singing to there. He sings in the movie. He also is a DJ and a color commentary throughout the movie, throughout scenes in the movie. In the disco scene, he's playing the music and being an announcer. In the football game, he's a color commentary guy. And of course, in the main part of the movie, at the beginning, he's he and his band's performing. So at least there's some touch to the Partridge Family. He just said, he was a part of a singing television show, so of course he kind of gets himself in trouble with the H.O.T.S girls and their male allies, and of course, sadly, she's even the nerd in this movie gets some. He's the only guy. He'd be hooking up with the lead girl in this movie, but no, he doesn't. He doesn't get hooked up with really anybody, and his bragging even gets him in trouble for a little while in the movie, but. All things get fixed, and he, of course, is accepted back with the good guys in time for the game and all that. But all in all, it's just this big hodgepodge of craziness. Basically, this is, you can kind of group this to 80s movies of this same vein. It was kind of like the start of it, with all, just with excessive amount of nudity and just crazy shit going all over the place, like spring break movies, other spring break movies and college movies would go to in that time period. But you check this out. It is out on DVD, by the way. So I remember just watching this on late night Cinemax, or basically what we had nicknamed it Skinemax. But it wasn't a bad movie. You should check it out. If you just want to see excessive TNA or classic Playboy Playmates or what Danny Bonaduce looked like back in the late 70s or whatever, there's a lot of good reasons to see this movie. But hope you enjoyed this little review of H.O.T.S. Of course, as I said, it's out on DVD. Been out on DVD for a while there. You might even catch it on Cinemax late night. I don't know if they still do that, but hope you enjoyed that. We'll be continuing on our spring break themed movie reviews, and soon, of course, it's a spring break season. It's not just 1 week for everybody, separate weeks. So we'll get to more spring break themed or close to spring break themed movies as we can. And stay tuned here for more reviews and whatnot here on the Multiverse. See ya.